There's always something eerie when we come to Misty Mountain. Just being here, the altitude, the mystery, where are we? It all comes together to create a certain ambiance that is pretty hard to replicate anywhere else in the world. It was a good trip up here this time, however. The monks that guided us, they were very kind. They even gave us a holiday concert. Unfortunately, the monks took a vow of silence. It was an awkward 35 minutes. Well, in the home of the Hazers, Misty Mountain is a short track, 15-second lap times. But those corners can give us a lot of variability. We saw that in qualifying with the spread of the lap times. Will we see it with the spread in the race? The Hazers fans are right at home and thriving up here, whether they're sitting in the stands or behind those rocky crags. Who knows what your vantage point might be, and who knows when the mist might roll in next. Maybe you want to replicate the mystery of Misty Mountain. Maybe you want to see your team survive the gauntlet that is the Hyperloop. All kinds of possibilities for how you can race. Of course, you can do it in the tournament-style setups, but this is an actual Jelle's Marble Runs sanctioned event and sponsored track. All 32 of the teams can be found in the collector set, which is included. Check it out, jellesmarbleruns.com. Don't forget also about the Skyway Chase. It's what started all of this. Check it out. You can build it, it's dual purpose. Kids absolutely love it. And it's a whole different set of challenges as well. Well, we're about to see also totally different set of challenges on the track. Nerid and Momo at the back as we work our way through the grid. Cerulean and Eve. Indy, our last runner from yesterday, and Remus. Stinger, whose teammate Swax got fastest lap here in Season 3 next to Pinky Panther. Snowstorm and Yellow Eye for the championship leading Crazy Cat's Eyes. Glimmer and Diamond. Radiance and Speedy. In 6th, Billy for the Green Ducks. Quasar, who got fastest lap back in Season 4. Yeller and Clementon, who won this race and got pole in Season 4. And Ruzzy next to our pole sitter and hometown marble, Cloudy. And we're rolling. I'm surprised they could even see through the mist at the starting gate. It's not a great start for our pole sitter. Ruzzy has gotten by, but now loses out before they even get to the drop. Cloudy comes right back. And this marble knows this track well. Will that marble thrive in these conditions too? Pinky Panther getting over the radio already on the first lap, saying horrible visibility out here. The mist is thick in places. Certain sectors seem to be affected more than others. And Stinger nails the drop. Excellent speed coming down the backstretch. Same thing with Speedy, who has taken the lead. Also got fastest lap. We've added a lap, by the way. This was an 18-lap race last time out. Now it's 19 this year. Speedy and Stinger dueling up front. There comes Cloudy. That's a great line. Down the backstretch, nearly nose to tail the top 3. Into the 3rd sector and around the final turn. Will they be one step apart as they come up the conveyor belt? It appears that way. Stinger bumps into the wall. That opens the door. Cloudy tried to get that launch off the conveyor belt and could not do it. Still has to settle for 3rd. Stinger weaving, trying to keep Speedy behind. That marble just wants to uncork and go off into the distance and will be first off the belt at the end of this lap. Off they go. Cloudy jumps into 2nd. Has a go at Speedy, but it's not there. Put that marble out of sorts as they come into that turn, and right out of the drop, Speedy sees Cloudy fired from a cannon and will now have to contend with the Hazers to start the next lap. 2/10 between them. Who gets the better launch? Oh, that was hard into the wall for Cloudy. That lost a lot of time. Eve has come up into 3rd spot, gotten by Stinger, who is now under pressure from Billy. Ruzzy, who was up in 2nd place, has now fallen all the way back to 6th. Yellow Eye is up 4, up to 7th. Speedy, Stinger, Cloudy over the line. Billy into 4th now. Looking farther back in the pack, it is still Cerulean at the tail of the field. Good under move there by Cloudy. But once again, acceleration out of those turns has not been a forte. Eve goes up into second for the Midnight Wisps. Here comes the haze. The mist is thickening in the middle portion of this track. We're also nearing the halfway point of this Grand Prix. New fastest lap goes to Indigo. Stars Indy. Billy gaining slightly as they come down the backstretch. With all of that speed, you have to wonder how the marbles are taking those turns as the mist gets thicker. Not sure we've had a Grand Prix here at Misty Mountain where the haze really sets in and nearly disrupts the race. We saw it almost as a power boost in qualifying. It gave Cloudy seemingly some extra speed, and here it comes again. Cloudy around the outside of the banking through the double right-hander. Says goodbye, and let's see if that gap will grow. En route to the lead, Cloudy sets a new fastest lap at a 15.22, and look at the gap already. Who is looming in the background behind Speedy? It is Yellow Eye. Not a great qualifying. And we saw the streak of excellent finishes for Crazy Cat's Eyes snapped last race when Red Eye was caught at the start. Cloudy resets fastest lap again. Goes into the 14s. Speedy peeking over the shoulder. That is a brief moment of respite that you have in the first portion of this track. And then it gets twisty and you have to set yourself up for the drop. As we have seen, if you get that wrong, it can be catastrophic. Yellow Eye battling with Billy coming off the conveyor belt. Has it go at Speedy. Couldn't get it done there. Now looks to the outside. Speedy blocks. Weaving down that backstretch again. That's an effective move, but not through the turns as much. Yellow Eye had that spot, albeit momentarily. Down into the final third of this Grand Prix. A raucous crowd on top of this mountain. Yellow Eye tried to go to the outside. Speedy put down the block and there was contact. And now Yellow Eye seemingly has dispatched the Savage Speeders. And Speedy comes right back. A much better exit coming over the starting line and back into P2. Yellow Eye down the backstretch once again. Positioned well into the drop, but Speedy, better acceleration through the third sector. The lead up front, by the way, is 2.6. Cloudy is attempting to make the Hazers the first two-time winners here at Misty Mountain. Speedy, Yellow Eye, that battle continuing. There you see Clementon, a former race winner 2 seasons ago, mired down in 14th, but does get that spot for 13th. Lots of marbles in the middle of the field, very close together. That gap between Speedy and Yellow Eye being managed at the moment. There we got a brief look at Cloudy coming over the finish line. This is farther back in the pack. That's Radiance and Diamond who are getting close to each other. Yeller confirming that visibility is dropping. Not even sure it's still on track in some corners. Look at how close this is. Stinger had gotten up there, disrupted the battle. Yellow Eye went backwards. Oh, Clementon very, very slow off of that drop. The gap is up to 3 seconds now. So then it's Speedy, Stinger. Billy has gotten by Yellow Eye too. Indy is up to 6th. Ruzzy falling back to 7th. Eve, who was in the top 2 or 3, has now gone down to 8th. Cerulean with an excellent climb from dead last, now up to 8th spot. There is Clementon continuing to drop, back to 14th. We've started the final lap. The crowd here on pins and needles. This is a big gap. Cloudy can celebrate now. Teammate Hazy won at Misty Mountain in Season 2. Cloudy wins it at home in Season 6. Thrilled on the radio. It is not an absolute grand slam because Cloudy did not lead every single lap. But pole, fastest lap, and race win. And did Cloudy just get Marble of the Day? Who else could it be? A win at home, it seems like in not just Marbula 1, but Marble League and elsewhere, we talk about the host curse so often. Are the Hazers impervious to it when they are up here on this Magic Mountain? I don't know if it was Magic necessarily that gained the win, because Cloudy raced this track with precision. Not very often we see that level of domination from the home team. Props to Speedy, came up through the field. Same with Billy. There were some marble movers today. Celebrate on the podium. And soak this in, as we heard on team radio to the Hazers. By that team's math, they have taken over the lead in the championship standings. Look at everybody jumping back and forth. As the mist begins to clear just slightly, we see 26 points for Cloudy. That's on top of 3 more for getting pole. The math is true. Hazers, by 4 points, lead the Crazy Cat's Eyes in the standings. With just a few rounds to go, Savage Speeders up into 3rd. Snowballs are up there as well. Green Ducks jumped up 4. Now we get a look at the racer standings. Everybody has raced 4 times now. And it is Yellow Eye leading the way. Ruzzy up 9, Diamond up 5. Mimo still the only marble yet to score. And we're starting to see some red on the board. Marbles that cannot win or podium. Some that still can podium but cannot win. Next up, we head back to the Electron Expressway. I'll see you there.